Right, first things first, let's go here, have a chat to Hartridge. We can ask him about a whole bunch of stuff, and we can get some more information out of the Veve, or however you pronounce it, that he translated for us.
Hey, Hartridge, what's the good word? Hartridge? Ah! Oh, God, not again.
That's happened in, like, however long it takes us to get from our bookstore to this place. That's only just happened because we spoke to him this morning. Mind you, also tried to call Germany and spoke to Grace a bit and read the journal a couple of times. What the hell? Strangled?
Something about Hartridge's death mask reminds Gabriel of the way Crash checked out. Not a pretty ending.
Yeah, Crash was saying some insane stuff about someone can write your name on a piece of paper, chew it up, and that does horrible things to your body. Something similar has happened here, perhaps. Is he bleeding from the nose? We're not going to see. I don't suppose you've got a snake tattoo on your chest? I'm looking everywhere because I don't trust this game not to hide things now, after what happened in the previous video.
I'm not touching that body.
Fair?
That would be up to the coroner. Whatever Hartridge may have learned, he cannot share with Gabriel now. At least, not vocally.
Well, I suppose the good news is that means there's one less person to interrogate. Do you have anything on your person?
I'm not.
I'm guessing not. What about the desk?
Dr. Hartridge's desk is...
Wait.
Dr. Hartridge, on the desk is a sheet of paper with some scribbled notes. It looks recent.
That's got to be for us.
The shelves behind...
I thought that piece of paper there might have been something, but it's not.
I'm not touching that body. These notes look interesting.
More law.
Hartridge's notes are scribbled on notepad paper.
I think we heard all of that on the phone. Apart from the People's Republic of... I don't know how to pronounce that word. Benin? Benign? Don't know, but we definitely heard Ogun Badagri, Dambala, and the Agri tribe.
The single sheet of paper doesn't need to be opened.
I can try. Right, well, my immediate thought is let's go to Mosley and report this. And show him this document and maybe some of the other stuff that we picked up. That's... I mean, it was written by a university professor. But that isn't really a lead on a course, is it? Either way, I think we need to go there. Ask Mosley and Frick about all the stuff that's shown up. We can report this death. And maybe we can show him some stuff.
Before leaving the university, Gabriel notifies campus security about Hartridge's body.
That seems so sus though. You go in alone, you leave, and you tell security, hey, I found a dead body over there. I mean, you would be detained instantly, surely. Speaking of getting detained instantly, let's go to the police station.
One of the Getty drummers watches the police station.
They're sending messages. I don't suppose I can do this.
Gabriel can't hear the street drummer very clearly in this location.
Okay, we're going back to Jackson Square very clearly. Mosley, we got another dead body.
Mostly, my man.
Knight,
Can I ask you about some stuff?
you're the writer. Ask away.
It's such a long list. Holy shit.
There's been another murder. A professor at Tulane.
Oh, Christ, you're not gonna start this again.
Just listen. This guy's name is Hartridge. He was a professor in African Studies at Tulane. Yesterday, I went to see him about the Voodoo murders case. He agreed to do some research for me. He calls me up this morning, tells me he's onto something big. And when I get over there, the guy's dead.
You know, you're really getting your ass in a sling over this thing, Knight.
I'm not.
It's not about me. Look, Hartridge's death looked just like Crash's. I'm telling you, they were both murdered. And by the same people who did the Voodoo murders.
Did either Crash or this new guy have their hearts ripped out?
No.
Then there's nothing to link either to the Voodoo murders, M.O. Besides that, the case is closed, Knight. If the coroner's report asks for a homicide investigation on either of these guys, fine. But it's not going to be related to the Voodoo murders case unless we find damn good reason to do so.
But I'm the link to the Voodoo murders case, don't you see?
Look, if I were you, I wouldn't repeat that to anyone. If I weren't an old friend of yours, I might take you seriously and lock you up. As it is, maybe you should start keeping your mouth shut. Not involve other people with this shit if you think it's so dangerous.
Fair points. Okay, let's ask him about some new subjects.
Do you know anything about snakes?
The only thing I know about snakes is I don't like them.
Wise man.
Do you know anything about...
The only...
Dumbala?
Have you ever heard of Dumbala?
You mean gumbo?
No, I mean Dumbala.
Never heard of it.
Have you ever... No.
However that's pronounced.
Does the name Ogun Badagry mean anything to you?
Say what?
Ogun Badagry. It's a voodoo loa.
Really?
Speak English or shut up, Knight.
Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. Guess I'll take that as a no.
I need to review the lecture tape immediately.
Does the name...
Don't start with that again. I already got a headache.
Sorry.
It's a lower. Schussenjäger?
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Ha! Is that anything like a Chuck Yeager?
I don't think there's any relation. Have you ever...
Well, not since the last time you asked.
Voodoo is the basis for the voodoo, a person being the rituals, and the
Alright, that one doesn't work.
the word voodoo. All of the some of the this spirit at the height in this way. The basis for the Africa is we still can't explain now. In voodoo, during a in voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa.
I'm kind of impressed that Gabriel remembered that. It was mentioned in the lecture, surely.
During a voodoo ceremony, a person being writ some of the older original Apanebo or Gede, the Lord of Death. Agwe, the spirit of water. Legba, spirit of the crossroads. And the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagry, the Lord of Destruction.
Yeah, I definitely didn't pick that up on the lecture in the earlier video. Ogun Badagry, the Lord of Destruction. Got it. Okay, I've picked up a whole bunch of stuff. I can barely identify it here.
So,
I don't suppose you're interested in my great-grandfather's journal, or... I don't know who it is. I don't know who Gunther is.
I have this.
That doesn't prove anything.
You're right, it doesn't. I'm very sorry. Let me try again. What about the drum code book?
I have this.
That does...
the letter is...
What about Granddaddy?
I have this.
That does...
Yeah, I don't think I've picked up anything that will be useful apart from what I just picked up from Hartridge.
The letter is addressed to Gabriel from Wolfgang Ritter.
Did I read that?
Wolfgang's letter says...
Shit, I didn't.
Dear Gabriel, Please read the enclosed journal carefully. It might help you understand your family's special obligations and our current predicament. God be with you, Uncle Wolfgang.
I'm reasonably certain that's not how family trees work. I was always terrible at this, but...
God be with you, Uncle Wolfgang.
I'm going to need to look this up afterwards because I'm genuinely confused. I thought Uncle was parents' brother, not great-grandparents' brother. I could be entirely wrong on that because my family is relatively small on that particular front. What else can I do? I can show him the letter,
I have the...
which doesn't prove anything. I can show him this photo as well.
I have...
Alright, so what do you think about this?
Take a look at these notes. They're from Professor Hartridge at Tulane University.
Yeah? And what about him?
They confirm that the pattern from the murders is of African origin.
Really? It's incredible, isn't it? Something like that showing up here?
It's been here for quite some time, so it seems.
I'm impressed.
Legit.
Okay, you've convinced me. The murders were done by a legitimate voodoo cult.
So now we need to find a lead on the cult before he'll consider trying to reopen the case. And I have been thinking, I'm guessing he can't directly reopen the case, but maybe he can petition someone to do it. I was not expecting that to work though, because in isolation, this doesn't mean terribly much. I'm guessing it's because the Veve matched that he's giving it some credibility.
The suit.
Oh, I know.
Well, I'll be seeing you.
Ciao, baby.
Alright, so I've got two thoughts. Firstly, let's ask some people some questions. And secondly, let's go to Jackson Square and see if we can use the rudder book. I don't know if that's something we can do now or whether that happens later, but I've got some stuff to do at least.
Got a second, officer? Do you know anything about snakes?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer that. No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
There's an animal joke there somewhere. I'm not going to make it.
Do you know anything about...
I told you I didn't, and I ain't got time to answer stupid questions.
Have you ever heard of Dumbala?
No, sounds foreign or something.
Is it a snake's name, perhaps?
Have you ever heard...
You don't want...
What did Crash say?
Does Ogun Badaikri mean anything to you?
Hell no.
Does...
You don't...
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Can't say that I have, but it sounds dirty.
And dangerous.
Have you...
What is it with you? I said no. What is it?
I'm just making sure. We're not going to be able to check the tape because Crash's thing was outside of interrogation. Is this guy still here?
It's one of the Rada drummers. They transmit coded messages through the French Quarter for the Voodoo cartel. Gabriel listens carefully to the drums and opens his Rada book to translate.
So all the words start with a triple. And it looks like they end with a triple as well. And it looks like it's repeating. Or is it? Not sure. Okay, so we have one word here, which looks like no message. I'm guessing all the stuff in between is nonsense. That's what I get out of this. I'm just hearing nonsense. And he's also transmitting no message. Over and over. Okay, that is what we're hearing as part of the main base. That'll make sense in just a moment, I swear. Oh my god, it's sleeping. So 3 high, and then 6 low, and then 3 high. How do I get out of here? Okay, so he's playing nonsense now. Three high. 6 low. 3 high. That means no message, literally. Although the way that's sort of structured is a bit weird. Okay, that's done. I'm glad that's done at least. And it's kind of cool that he can legitimately hear no message in what he's transmitting, even though it does sound different to what we're seeing in the official interface. And this guy's still here. Can we interrogate Dr. John? Whoa!
Why is it so dark in here?
The snake's gone. The snake's above us.
John? Hello? Uh-oh.
There's no time for that now.
I'm guessing we need to hit the switch. That did something with the snake earlier when it was in the plexiglass case. But you know what? This is the first time that I've run into a potential death scenario, so how about we just let it play out? I did just make a save after all.
Gabriel is currently bonding with the museum's python.
Charming.
It's an electric...
I really don't want to be dead. Can we try that again?
That's a rather comical death scene. Okay.
Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh.
Was this set up as a trap for us? All I can think of doing now is hitting the switch. Or maybe going for the knife on the back wall, but the switch is probably the right choice. Yep.
You bastard!
Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did? I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see, and we were not expecting visitors.
Really?
But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door next time you're closed.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Was that a trap?
Posted on the door of the museum is a sign saying, "Closed today only." This time the door is actually locked.
Alright, we're not interrogating Dr. John. Not today, anyway.
The second message made from the voodoo crosses is on the wall.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I last played, but I thought that might have been different. Can I take a note of that?
Let me get these new marks down.
Can we ask Moonbeam to translate those?
It's Gabriel's sketch of the series of crosses. It's Gabriel's sketch of the new series of crosses from the Laveau tomb wall. Looking at the series of...
Right, but can I do this?
Gabriel
Yes.
checks the two messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols, except for 3.
Convenience. DJ Keep. Eyes on GK. But do not harm. GK, keep eyes on GK, but do not harm. That's what I get out of that. Is that why the museum is closed today? Is he tailing us? Hope not. Okay, let's have a chat to Soul.
I'm sorry.
You got some?
Mind if I...
Go.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them ain't poisonous, of course.
Any of the strangulation kind? Oh, it's been so long. I need to go back and watch my footage because it did mention that some snakes kill their prey by constricting or strangulation and others use poison. I don't remember the full context of that though.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I don't mind snakes myself, but lots of folks are afraid of them.
Do you know...
I don't mind.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
I don't know what you talking about.
I'm still a bit leery on that response.
Have you ever...
I don't know.
Does the name Ogun Badakri mean anything to you?
I don't know what you talking about.
This is where I kind of wish Kazanu was still around. She could possibly tell us something about that.
Have you ever heard the word Schottenjäger?
I don't know what you talking about.
Nothing apart from some context on snakes. Okay. I don't suppose Marley is over on the right-hand side here? No, nothing. I can check her estates. Let me out, please. This location in particular is so fiddly.
Ms. Gedde is unavailable, Mr. Knight.
I'm guessing we're on good terms with him now, given that, you know, we were there last night. Okay, where else? This guy's stonewalling us.
Can I ask you just...
Can we wrestle him?
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons and boas. So I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
Do you know anything about snakes?
I've already told you everything I know.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Damballa is an African legend about a great serpent. Folklore, that's all.
That lines up with Crash's dying words. Damballa and a snake.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Some old African god, that's all.
Is Damballa the Ogun Badagri another word for it, perhaps?
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Don't talk like that around here, man.
We just spooked him a bit.
Does the name...
Don't talk like that around here, man.
Once again, it leads nowhere.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
Deutsch, Bruder.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
Okay, where next? Once again, I'm struggling. I'll try Moonbeam after this.
Could I... Do you know anything about snakes?
What about him?
Oh, just anything.
Man, you ask the weirdest questions. I don't know anything about snakes.
To be fair though, the game's weirdly designed, which forces me to ask you these questions.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I told you I don't know. I don't care either.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Never heard of it.
Have you...
It's a shame Sam isn't still around.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Never heard of it.
Does the...
Never.
We're gonna get the same here.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Never heard of it.
That will do. Moonbeam, I hope you've got some answers for me, because if not, I think I'm at a dead end again.
A sign on the front door of Magentia's home reads, attending a channeling seminar until August 1st.
Shit. I don't know what to do next. Maybe I can go show the snake scars to Mosley. Hey, yeah, let's mention that. Let's go to Mosley and try to say that we almost got killed at the museum.
Detect. Can I ask? Do you know anything?
Nothing.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
I told you,
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
you still need to give me a lead on the cult.
How do we do that?
I picked up this scale at Lake Pontchartrain.
So?
Yeah? Well, what makes you think it's related to the murders?
Well, it was at the crime scene.
Sure. Must be from the only snake in Louisiana, all right. That voodoo snake. Christ.
I have a horrible feeling I've missed something with Magenta Moonbeam. Alright, give me a moment. I need to think.
Gabriel sketch.
These symbols are from Marie Laveau's tomb in St. Louis Cemetery. They're part of a secret voodoo code, which I had translated by a voodooienne.
Do they say anything about the murders?
Well,
I'm sure that's a legit code.
They say nothing about the murders, but they say something about keeping me under surveillance and do not harm me, which sounds dodgy at the best of times.
Gabriel is
Shit.
I'm gonna hit the...
Later.
This drummer moving here, keeping an eye on this guy. This seems very sus.
Gabriel should go.
And this makes me think that the drummer's code will change at some point today. They're looking directly at this guy. What can I do? Can I show you the photo?
Does this mean anything to you?
Hey, where'd you get that?
Nowhere.
Well, you shouldn't have that. Put it away before I decide to keep it.
Yes, sir.
Good response. The scale, the tattoo.
Does this mean anything to you?
Nope.
We're going to get that animation every single time.
Does this mean... Does this...
Nope.
I don't suppose I can show it to you out the window here?
Gabriel can't do anything with the drummer from here.
Does this... Does this...
It's a police academy graduation photo. What of it?
Just checking.
It's Wolf.
I'll try calling Wolfgang again, now that I've read his letter and read the journal.
The
Does this...
What about this threatening message that I saw on the tomb wall? Although it's our interpretation of it, so I don't think you're going to be terribly interested in it.
Does...
Nope.
No. Okay, what do I do next? Let me try making that phone call. So we can't go here. We can go there, but she's not there. We can't go there.
Post it.
These places are still accessible. As is that. Has the body been moved? It has. I don't suppose there's anything else in here?
The filing cabinet is locked. The desk is locked.
He would have had a key on his person, surely.
The shelf, doctor, it's and Gabriel fights the urge to give the globe a spin. The fish tank is as on as it's likely to get, and turning it off would kill the fish. There is Gabriel doesn't feel comfortable sitting around here under the circumstances. That doesn't work. Gabriel doesn't want to disturb Hartridge's treasures.
Why not? He's dead.
There's nothing of interest in the wastebasket.
Damn it, that animation got me very excited for a moment.
It looks heavy.
Gabriel doesn't want to take that from Hartridge's office. Gabriel.
It looks heavy.
Okay, there might be something in here, but I'm not sure where it is right now. I fully expect to read the walkthrough again, and it will tell me to come back here and find something. Right, well, Gabriel did not want to call Germany.
What happened?
Who, me?
Well, you're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Whoa.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
Charming, fellas, charming. I apologize, I did not mean to skip through that.
This is
So, what's new, Gray?
You're used
What?
What did you just pick up?
Gabriel,
Like I haven't tried.
Damn, Gabriel.
Could you do some?
Sure. Okay.
She just took something off our face. What was it?
Do you have?
Nope.
Tell me.
See,
Do you know?
I told you nothing. I hope you don't think this subject is erotic. It's not.
Dang.
Are you sure?
I-
Does?
No.
Have you?
No. Is that a voodoo word?
I don't think so. It's German.
No, but it has a nice ring, doesn't it? Schottenjäger.
It does.
You can't tell me anything about the word Schottenjäger?
Nope, sorry, I don't speak German.
You just said Schottenjäger. I have a terrible feeling that she just picked a snake scale off our face.
Gabriel is carrying.
But I don't have it in my inventory.
Do you know anything about this?
No, sorry.
Damn it, I thought... Oh my god. I thought that maybe that's... she would have said, oh, that's what I just saw on your face.
Do you know?
They're called tweezers? You know, you should get out more.
What did you take off my face, Grace?
Gabriel,
I don't see it on the desk.
the
Wait,
there's something in the ashtray.
she put it in the ashtray.
There's a snake scale in the ashtray.
Oh dear.
Looks like the python left me a souvenir. Very interesting.
Yeah, I apologise for skipping that earlier when we came in. I did not realise we had not seen that dialogue before.
Gabriel is carrying a scale he found near the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. It's a snake scale from the Voodoo Museum's python.
Narrator, please.
Those two objects would have no effect on each other.
But these are identical, aren't they?
Gabriel magnifies the snake scale from the Voodoo Museum's python. The iridescent scale is brilliantly hued with greens and purples. Gabriel magnifies the scale from the lake. It's hued with purples and greens. It matches the scale from the Voodoo Museum. He places the two scales together.
That's what Mosley needs. We showed him the scale and he's like, yeah, it could just be any snake. And he's 100% right on that. But that proves, maybe, that it was a snake from the museum. The Voodoo Museum.
No.
Right, we're not calling Wolfgang. Let's show that to Mosley immediately because, quite frankly, I don't know what else to do.
I've got some things I need to do.
See ya.
Can this guy hear or understand what's going on in Mosley's office? He's got a good view out here, but I'm not sure about the office.
Hey! Nah.
Alright. Does this give you a lead on the Coles?
I have these two snake scales. One's from the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. The other's from a snake in the Voodoo Museum on Ursulines and Charters.
Is this common? Do they all look alike?
Absolutely not.
Not at all. They're both constrictor scales, and the coloring is the same. A python's coloring is quite individualistic.
A python?
That's right. Hardly an indigenous snake to Louisiana. Somehow, some way, the Voodoo Museum's python was at the scene of the Lake Pontchartrain murder.
Well, I'd call that a lead, all right. Certainly suggests certain lines of inquiry at the museum. Not bad work, Knight. If we can tie them into this voodoo cult, we just might have something. Okay, I'll reopen the case. I hate to admit it, but you've done some pretty good detective work here, Knight.
Well, you know what they say. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, point taken. Glad I could inspire you. I'll check around the department, but I have a feeling I'm on my own. In fact, I better lock up this office just in case I step on a few toes. Come on.
Not going back in there, okay. Really though? We're doing all this police work and you can just reopen the case just like that? You say you're worried about stepping on people's toes, but you know.
Now, lay low and let me handle this.
Yeah, fine.
Me lay low? Never. Okay, so the drummer would have seen Mosley leave. Are we done for today, or do I need to perhaps go to Jackson Square and translate a code?
It's getting late.
Oh, wow.
Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Short day. Right, so can we have a nightmare again tonight? Pretty please. It's just that, Gabriel, I think you need to actually sleep and, you know, not have as much sex with Malia tonight. Oh my god. Really? No sex for you.
Damn!
Are we going to have a nightmare? You bet. It was definitely not lost on me that when we were with Malia, the nightmares stopped. So, are we looking at Gunther here? And Tesselo? Who turns into possibly a Grun Badagree? Oh, that's new. Wheel within a wheel. The talisman. The blood. The knife. The bookstore. And thus just swinging away. That's going to be Gunther, surely. Day 6, St. John's Eve. And then the night became as day. I glimpsed nature's reddest claw. The face of fear looked back at me as I gazed into the moor. Oh god! Holy fuck.
What is it? What's wrong?
Gabriel?
I see it, Grace. Hold on. There's no one in the shop, and I know there's no one in back. It's okay.
Okay. Gabriel, that thing is still barely alive. How could someone do this?
With a knife, maybe?
God, don't even start. We should call the police.
No. I'll take care of it.
But Gabriel...
I said I'll take care of it. Why don't you go get some coffee? I'll have it all cleaned up before you get back.
They know where you live now.
It's gonna be fine. Now go on.
No, it's not. Later.
Are you sure you don't want to go home? I could close the shop today.
No. I'd rather keep busy. I'll be fine. At least that creepy guy is gone. Ugh. Not that they aren't still watching.
Is that all they did to the place?
The windows that the
Gabriel!
I see it. Stay back.
Oh, this is not going to end well.
that doesn't seem
It's just an envelope.
I can see that.
But it's what's in the envelope that matters. What sort of death threat is inside here?
Gabriel eyes the surreptitiously delivered envelope. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it. Gabriel opens the envelope and finds a note from Mosley and a small brass key.
Couldn't you have at least stamped the envelope or put it on some stationery or something to identify it as the police? Oh my god, that was freaky as hell. We have a key.
The key is from Mosley.
What to, though? Malia's tomb, perhaps?
It's a note from Mosley.
Is he telling us to lay low?
Mosley's note says,
Gabe, I have to go underground with this thing. It runs wide and deep throughout the department and the city board. I'm already being watched. It was suggested I take vacation time, so I am, at least as far as they know. Try to keep out of this. It's too hot for a rookie. Just in case, I'm sending you my office key. You might find some useful things there. P.S. I think this note will look great in the book, don't you? Make sure you save it.
the note is signed, Detective Mosley.
We might have to redact your signature, perhaps. It's the key to his office. What would be in there that we haven't picked up already? Alright, St. John's Eve.
Times Picayune, dated the 23rd of June, 1993. Gabriel finds an article about St. John's Eve. It discusses the day's Catholic roots and its adoption by voodoo devotees. In the early to mid-1800s, St. John's Eve was celebrated with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou St. Jean, and other sites outside the city. These days, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. John's Eve Mass. Despite his better judgment, Gabriel reads his horoscope. Today you will either die or your life will change forever.
Sure, why not? It is St. John's Eve. They'll be out tonight for sure. But where?
We've heard the bayou mentioned multiple times now. Those horoscopes, though, those are remarkably grim. Like at some point the editor's got to step in and say, guys, lighten it up just a little bit, please.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some
Sure.
I can't.
Okay.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
I'll try calling Wolfgang again, but honestly, I don't think anything will happen.
No.
That was such a freaky opening to today, though. We had that chicken in feathers on the floor. We heard nothing while we were sleeping / having our nightmare. They got inside somehow. I want to say through the front door. They did that without waking us up. They don't appear to have done anything else around here, perhaps?
Gabriel checks the drawer again, just in case life as we know it changed significantly since he last looked.
They have not robbed a till. They just set that up in there to freak him out. And also to freak out Grace. I do hope that Gabriel either made some notes or maybe took a sketch or something, because that is useful evidence. And Gabriel just cleaned it up like it was nothing. Okay.
Are you gonna be okay here by yourself?
I'll be just fine. Just fix this, okay?
I'm trying, Gracie.
You don't sound fine. Oh, that's bad. This was until August 1st, correct?
A sign on the
Right, we're never getting back in there. That's not happening. I want to go here. I want to check if the message has changed again. No, that's the same second message.
The second...
Where is it? I've asked you everything. I've got a vague memory of Mosley being around here. Potential spoilers. So this key is his office key, but I'll try it here anyway.
That key doesn't fit the lock on the plate.
Fair enough. Let's go see if we can get ourselves killed at Dr. John's place again. I really should make a new save there, that's me being a dumbass. Because we can pump him for information and probably get stonewalled about all of these subjects we've learned.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
The museum is open today.
A very large...
How did it guess ours?
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course.
Right.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum's snake, Mr. Knight. They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Is the snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of this snake, Mr. Knight, but snakes like the museum's can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
I'd really like to know more about your snake.
There is really nothing more to say, Mr. Knight.
Being stonewalled. Yeah, that snake was at the latest voodoo murder scene, not counting Crash and Hartridge.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Of course. It is one of the Loa.
What can you tell me about the Loa Damballa?
Damballa is a snake lore. It originated in Africa and is also worshipped heavily in Haiti, I believe.
Do you worship Damballa?
Mr. Knight, in voodoo, all of the Loa are given their due respect.
That's the response that I was expecting.
What else can you tell me about the Loa Damballa?
I am afraid I have little else to say about that subject.
So Damballa is the snake lower. Ogun Badagri is...
Are you sure you don't know anything about Ogun Badagri?
I am afraid I have little else to say about that subject.
I thought I hadn't asked him about this.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No, I have not.
Have you?
No.
I don't think I got that wrong. Okay, well there's possibly stuff I can show you here, but I need to cut this video very shortly.
Hartridge died getting that information. Gabriel doesn't want to endanger anyone else.
You know what? That's very fair. What about these snake scars?
Would that really be a good idea?
Okay, at this point we've realized that yes, he is dirty.
Do you recognize this snake figure?
How curious. Where did you find it?
Oh, just laying around.
I would throw it away if I were you.
Why's that?
It looks like trouble to me, Mr. Knight.
Yeah, something bad is going to happen tonight, very clearly. Let me take a look at one more thing,
Goodbye, Doc.
and then we'll call us. The pattern has very clearly changed.
Gabriel listens carefully to the drums and opens his radar book to translate. If Gabriel's translation of the drum code is correct, there'll be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That must be the bayou.
We've only heard the word bayou about 3 times by now. Call conclave tonight, swamp. Yeah, what I might do is finish. Is I'll just listen to this a bit. And once again, I'll bring up a notepad window showing the translation of the drum code. I'll need to stop recording here. I'll be back soon.